When it comes to combat in the Naruto universe, any type of jutsu can be deadly, especially if the user is a highly skilled individual. Ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu each offer a variety of offensive and defensive options, but certain techniques are just too much for the ordinary ninja to handle. Over the course of the series, fans got to see many of the ninja world's strongest and most feared jutsu in action, and in most cases, these jutsu caused a great deal of damage. Many fans can probably name the strongest jutsu in Naruto off the top of their heads, but there are many more jutsu that deserve to be recognized for their strength and effectiveness. Number 25. Hidan's Curse. Hidan was a sociopath who preferred to use the same technique in each battle, which is understandable since it is highly effective. He was a devout follower of the Jashin faith, and while studying the religion's forbidden techniques, he unlocked a form of immortality. He also discovered a curse that turns the user into a living voodoo doll. In order for this curse to activate, Hidan needs to consume some of his opponent's blood, and he must then step into a Dashin symbol, which is placed on the ground. Once this happens, Hidan can fatally injure himself, and his opponent will sustain the same injury. This curse can take out anyone, including Naruto. Number 24. Performance of 100 puppets. Sasori may have been the first Akatsuki member to be defeated, but he was still a formidable ninja. He mastered the Sand Village's puppet technique, and he specialized in creating human puppets. He even managed to turn himself into a puppet. Sasori's most effective jutsu was called the Performance of 100 Puppets technique. And as its name suggests, it saw him controlling 100 puppets at once. These were no ordinary puppets either, as they were the finest in his collection, and they were all outfitted with weapons and poison. This literal army allowed him to take down a small nation. Number 23. Reaper Death Seal. The Reaper Death Seal may have been created by the Uzumaki clan, but it has become one of the Leaf Village's strongest jutsu. Minato used it to stop the Nine Tails, and Hiruzen used it to seal Orochimaru's arms. This jutsu is forbidden because it takes the user's life afterward. Their soul is separated from their body and restrained by a Reaper, who then shoves the user's soul with his arm. The arm exits through the user's physical chest and grabs onto the enemy's soul. The Shinigami then pulls on the soul until it severs it with a blade. While this is happening, the enemy is completely immobilized. Number 22. Chidori. The Chidori is one of the strongest lightning-style jutsu in Naruto, and it was created by Kakashi Hatake when he tried to apply lightning chakra to the Rasengan. In order to produce a Chidori, the user needs to channel concentrated lightning chakra in their hand. This is not a fancy jutsu, as the user needs to charge their opponent in order to hit them. The user needs to move relatively fast in order to access the Chidori's maximum damage output, but it causes the user to develop tunnel-like vision while charging. If the attack hits its mark, the Chidori will pierce and cause fatal damage. Number 21. Rasen Shuriken. It is true that the Rasengan is Naruto's iconic finishing move, but it is actually an incomplete jutsu. The Rasen Shuriken is the completed form, and it requires the use of 2 shadow clones. Naruto provides the chakra, while one clone contains it, and the second clone applies wind nature to it. The end result is 4 large points that spin around a central Rasengan core. It can literally slice through targets, and if it collides with something, it will detonate. This creates a vortex of wind that contains countless microscopic wind blades. These blades pierce every cell in the enemy's body. This effect destroys an enemy's connection to their chakra circulatory system. Number 20. C for Garuda. Deidara developed this technique to counter the Sharingan, so it is amazing that Sasuke was able to overcome it. To use this technique, Deidara molds clay in his own mouth and uses it to create a massive clone of himself. When this clone detonates, it creates thousands of microscopic bombs, which enter the bloodstream of any living thing that breathes them in. When these bombs detonate, They destroy the target from within, as they are disintegrated at a cellular level until there is nothing left but dust. Number 19. The Flying Thunder God Technique. Tobirama Senju created the reanimation jutsu, but he also created the Flying Thunder God Technique. This space-time ninjutsu allows the user to instantly teleport to another location by passing through a dimensional void. In order for this technique to work, the user must mark a person or object with the jutsu formula. Minato improved the jutsu by using special kunai, and it allowed him to become one of the fastest ninjas in history. With this technique, a ninja can appear behind enemy lines and unleash a series of surprise attacks that can wipe out entire squadrons. Number 18. C0. Deidara was the Akatsuki's explosives expert, which is understandable seeing as he possessed the explosion release Keki Genkai. This allowed him to produce explosive chakra, and he would use the mouths in the palms of his hands to mold that chakra into clay. He had another mouth on his chest, and when he feeds it a large ball of clay, it triggers his ultimate technique, otherwise known as C0. The resulting explosion covers a 6-mile radius, and it is strong enough to potentially wipe out an entire village. The only downside is that Deidara needs to sacrifice himself in order to use it. Number 17. Wooden Golem Jitsu. Hashirama Senju is one of the most honorable characters in Naruto, but he is also the only person who could use wood release through natural means. He was able to create entire forests, and he could restrain powerful enemies, including tailed beasts. With the wooden golem, Hashirama was able to create a massive statue-like figure. In terms of size, this creature matched Madara's perfect Susanoo, and its body is wrapped with a wooden dragon that can attack independently. This creature is said to be as strong as the Nine Tails, and it can catch a tailed beast ball with its hand. Number 16. Atomic Dismantling Jitsu. As the third Tsuchikage, Onoki was one of the best ninjas outside of the Leaf Village. He held the title for decades, and one of the reasons he was able to do so is because he was able to use dust release. This is an extremely rare nature transformation that allowed him to create three-dimensional shapes. The atomic dismantling is Onoki's primary dust release attack. He would fire the shapes at incredible speeds, and when they expanded, anything caught inside would be disintegrated on a molecular level. Number 15. Amaterasu. Amaterasu can only be used by someone who has awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, and it allows the user to produce black flames at the focal point of their vision. Unless the user extinguishes these flames themselves, Amaterasu will continue to burn until the target is incinerated. These flames are capable of burning normal fire, but they can also harm and potentially kill a tailed beast. Sasuke won several fights he shouldn't have, including the one against Killer Bee, and that only happened because he used Amaterasu to burn the Eight Tails Jinchuriki into unconsciousness. Number 14. Shinra Tensei. The Rinnegan is arguably the strongest bloodline limit in the series, and Nagato managed to split its most useful abilities into 6 paths. The Diva Path allows the user to manipulate attractive and repulsive forces, which means that they can manipulate gravity. Shinra Tensei is considered to be the pinnacle of the Diva Path's power, as the user can use it to repel physical attacks and jitsu, including Amaterasu. This jitsu's strength completely depends on the amount of chakra the user puts into it, and at max power, it is capable of destroying a village as large as the Hidden Leaf. Number 13. Kamui. Like Amaterasu, Kamui is a jutsu associated with the Mangekyo Sharingan, but very few members of the Uchiha clan have ever been able to unlock it. This space-time ninjutsu allows the user to transport objects, jitsu, and living beings between dimensions. Obito Uchiha's mastery of this ability showed just how powerful it can be, as he was able to send segments of his body to another dimension whenever he wished. This meant that virtually every attack passed straight through his body. The only downside is that his body needed to become physical again if he wanted to attack. Number 12. Limbo. Limbo is a jutsu that Madara Uchiha could use once he regained his real Rinnegan, and it allows him to create up to 4 clones. These clones act like shadows, and they live in a separate invisible world that coexists alongside the physical one. These shadows are capable of attacking people in the physical world. And Madara used one to knock down all of the tailed beasts because the shadows can use all of the user's abilities. They can also intercept physical attacks. Only someone who possesses a Rinnegan or 6 Paths Sage mode can actually see or sense these clones. Number 11. Izanagi. The Sharingan is the Uchiha clan's greatest resource. In its normal state, it allows the user to read all of their opponent's moves, which means that they can dodge most attacks with ease. The Mangekyo Sharingan unlocks several other high-powered abilities. Izanagi is a genjutsu that casts the illusion on the user instead of the enemy, and while it is active, the user has complete control over their reality. Once this jutsu is used, it can never be used again because it causes the Sharingan to lose its light, which is why it is mainly used to negate fatal injuries and death. Number 10. Ninja Art. Mitotic Regeneration. Medical ninjas are never supposed to fight on the front lines, but there are a few exceptions. Only those who know how to use mitotic regeneration are allowed to fight. And that is because the Jitsu allows the user to forcibly stimulate their body's cell division by releasing an absurd amount of chakra. While this jutsu is active, the user cannot die because they are capable of healing any injury within seconds. They can even survive being cut in half, as long as their body parts are in close proximity to each other. Number 9. Tengai Shinsei. Fans thought that they had seen the extent of the Rinnegan's power during Naruto's fight with Pain, but Madara proved just how godly this ocular jutsu really is. When Madara was resurrected during the 4th Great Ninja War, he took on thousands of ninjas by himself, and he wiped most of them out with Tengai Shinsei. When Madara and his Susanoo weave 3 specific hand signs, he can use the Rinnegan's Diva Path to pull meteorites out of space. These meteorites crash into the Earth, and the resulting impact and shockwave can level an entire area. Number 8. Susanoo. There are plenty of anime series out there for Final Fantasy fans, and Naruto deserves to be on that list because many ninjas are capable of summoning powerful creatures to help them in battle. The Susanoo is one such creature. As it is created from the user's chakra, the Susanoo does their bidding during a fight, whether it be for offensive or defensive purposes. The Susanoo is the strongest ability available to those who have awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan. And in its final form, it becomes a towering colossus that is capable of altering the entire landscape with a single attack. Number 7. Edo Tensei. There are several jutsu in Naruto that are considered forbidden, either because they cause the user harm or because they cause immense collateral damage. But there are other forbidden techniques that simply violate the laws of nature. Edo Tensei is one of these techniques, as it allows the user to reanimate a dead ninja who they can then control. These reanimated ninjas cannot be stopped by normal means because their bodies will simply regenerate, even if they suffer complete disintegration. In order to make this summoning work, the user needs to sacrifice a living person. Number 6. 8 Gates Formation. Gate of Death. There are several ninjas who specialize in hand-to-hand combat, and the strongest of these ninjas know how to use the 8 inner gates. In order to access these gates, a ninja needs to remove the chakra limiters that the body naturally sets up, but doing so puts immense strain on the human body. Whenever a ninja opens one of these gates, they become exponentially more powerful, but they end up tearing their muscles and breaking their bones as they fight. Opening the 8th gate allows a ninja to obtain god-level strength for a short time, but doing so ultimately results in the user's death. Number 5. 6 Paths. Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken. Naruto can definitely be beaten in an eating contest, but when it comes to an actual fight, very few people would be able to take him on successfully. The knuckle-headed ninja is known for using Rasengan and Shadow clones, but as the series progresses, he also learns to use the Rasen Shuriken Sage mode and Tailed Beast mode. In his final battle with Sasuke, Naruto combines all of these abilities into a single jutsu called the Six Paths Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken. Naruto has to create 2 fully transformed Kurama clones that merge with the original, and this allows him to create 1 massive Rasen Shuriken infused with natural energy and another made from Tail Beast Chakra. Number 4. Indra's Arrow. Both Naruto series had decent animation, but there are several anime that have much better visuals. However, the final battle between Naruto and Sasuke is an exception, as the studio decided to produce the episode with movie-level animation. It was during this fight that Sasuke used Indra's Arrow for the first time, and is still considered to be the strongest jutsu in his arsenal. In order to use this jutsu, Sasuke needs to absorb chakra from every tailed beast, and he then has to channel that chakra into a single arrow, which he fires from his perfect Susanoo's longbow. Number 3. Chibaku Tensei. The Rinnegan offers its user a multitude of powerful abilities, including the Ashura Path, which cyberpunk fans would enjoy since it allows a person to augment their body with mechanical weaponry. The Diva Path can repel attacks and call asteroids down from space, but it can also create a miniature moon with Shibaku Tenzei. The Jitsu starts off as a small black sphere, and when it is thrown into the sky, it begins to attract everything in the surrounding area. This technique is primarily used to trap powerful beings and tailed beasts, but its destructive power is what makes it truly terrifying. Number 2. Koto Amatsukami. Shisui Uchiha barely appeared in the series, but he was considered to be incredibly powerful because of his Koto Amatsukami. This ocular jutsu allows the user to subtly mind control anyone in their field of vision, and the targets are given false experiences in order to make them think that they are doing things of their own free will. This jutsu is powerful enough to free a reanimated ninja from the Edo Tenzei's control. Once it is activated, however, the user cannot use this jutsu for 10 years. But that time is drastically reduced if they possess some of the Hashirama cells. Number 1. Infinite Tsukuyomi. Of all the games, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 has the largest roster, and it includes characters like Kaguya Otsutsuki, who needed the Infinite Tsukuyomi in order to accomplish her ultimate goal. In order for the Infinite Tsukuyomi to work, it requires the user's Rinne Sharingan to be reflected off of the moon's surface. This genjutsu traps the entire world in a never-ending illusion that feels like a dream world. But in reality, it drains every one of their chakra and life energy until they are nothing more than mindless husks. Thank you for watching our video on the strongest and most feared jutsu in the Naruto universe. We've covered a wide range of techniques that have caused immense damage and have proven to be deadly in combat. From Heiden's Curse to Shibaku Tensei, each jutsu showcased the power and skill of its user. It's important to remember that while these jutsu are incredibly powerful, they also come with their own consequences and sacrifices. Some jutsu require the user to give up their own life or make significant sacrifices to unleash their full potential. We hope you enjoyed learning about these lesser-known yet formidable jutsu that deserve recognition for their strength and effectiveness. Naruto has introduced us to a vast array of unique and powerful techniques, each with its own impact on the story and characters. If you have any other suggestions or ideas for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time, stay tuned for more Naruto-related discussions and analyses. Thank you, and see you soon.